Hello, everybody. This is Between Two Teachers and our Monday, February 28th episode, bringing you the news about education, um, national, statewide, and local. So today we got a few issues that we want to share with you. And my name is Consuelo Lara.
And I'm Madeline Cronenberg. And as always, I'm going to give our land acknowledgement, where we pause to acknowledge that we have gathered on the ancestral territory of Huichin, part of the unceded land of the Chochenyo and Karkan-speaking Muwekma Ohlone people. We remember their continued connection to this region and give thanks to them for allowing us to work, learn, live, and pray on their traditional homeland. And we offer our respect to their elders and all Ohlone people, past and present. So there's been a lot going on in education this week, as every week. And this week, one of the things that I wanted to just talk a little bit about is some of the legislation that is out there on education. It is all over the country, just everywhere. And it's because we have the conservative movement really looking at the fact that they're in a position to be able to influence our education system in a way that they really hadn't targeted in the past, and move backwards on things that we thought we had accomplished. So the first one, big one that is not quite finished yet, but is happening in Florida, where all these many things begin, because there is such an openness to conservative platforms and positions in Florida, is the Don't Say Gay bill.
Wow.
Where basically there's a belief there that what you need to do is not have any reference to anything regarding gender identity with children. And that's why they're doing book banning. They're taking out the books that refer to gender identity. They're taking out books that refer to gay families. They are essentially whitewashing, bringing everything back to where it was before we reached the point where families and young people were comfortable exploring and talking about their gender identities and sexuality. So that's a big issue that's happening, and Florida is leading the way on that. The other ones that are happening have to do with legislation first of all, in Arizona. In Arizona, they've got legislation, and they all fall into these different buckets. In Arizona, they're talking about banning books, which they are doing across the nation. And the strategy that they have in one of their bills in Arizona is that the school board has to individually approve every book in the library.
Oh, geez. Oh my gosh. Talk about going backwards.
And they post a list, and the list is up for 60 days to give parents a chance to oppose a book.
Oh my
What are we
gosh.
going to do in these libraries?
Oh, that's just amazing. You know, Arizona has that history. I remember years and years ago when they were trying to teach Chicano studies there, and they banned it, and it was a big deal. They really fought against having that. So they've got a history of this censorship, and it is about identity, isn't it? It's really this resistance to anything different.
It so is. I mean, I was listening to somebody the other day talking about how there are no coming out stories for younger folks, folks in their teens and their 20s. And one of the reasons and there are many coming out stories of people in their 40s and 50s and older. And the reason somebody said was they were never in, because they were allowed to be themselves. There was this right there, the closet door got opened.
Yeah.
Well, we're closing it up in Florida.
Yeah.
And with these other bills. So there it is. Every library book is going to be approved by the school board with a 60-day public review, so that the public then can come in and literally appear at a board meeting and talk about why a book should be on the list or not on the list.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And then the parents are going to have access to their students' list of books that they've checked out.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Most parents are not going to want to do that. Parents are busy. Parents are trying to survive this pandemic.
Ones who are, this is the whole issue. The ones who are interested in that are, anyway.
Yeah, they're going to be pushing that. And, you know, I think the reason this is so public and gets so much attention is because the people behind it have a lot of money. A lot of money to take, you know, the airwaves, to use social media. And they make it sound as if, oh, this is everybody. And it's not. It's a small group of people who are very, very loud.
Right.
And have a lot of money.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, they've also got one where they're no longer, they don't like the National School Board Association or the State School Board Association. So they're going to ban the school district from paying fees to join those associations.
Oh my goodness.
Putting that in state law.
That is one of the most amazing programs we have for excellence in teaching. Oh my goodness.
Well, honestly, if you're a school board member, how do you learn how to be a school board member except from other school board members, right? That's where you get your training. So they're going to eliminate any of that new training. That's gone. Then they're going to eliminate. There have been a lot of protests at school sites over the vaccine and mask mandates.
Yes,
and
yes.
School sites would say you don't have permission to organize a protest here. So they're going to eliminate the need to ask for permission. So you can just go ahead and protest all you want. Nobody can arrest you and tell you had to ask for permission.
Oh, wow.
It's a fascinating thing. And then the last one is going to, build up the charter school world, because they're going to require any school or district that has had a what in Arizona is a D or an F rating for 2 years, basically to become reconstituted. They need to get a new leader, and they need to be partnered with somebody. So who is going to want to partner with them? So
of course.
It could be another high performing school, but schools don't usually partner with other schools. So the partner would probably be a charter network partner.
Exactly, a corporation.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And all this is Arizona.
This is all Arizona, but it's, this is, Arizona is a leader in this. These are all bills that are, all over the state, but all over the country. But I will say Arizona is first in getting them out there. They are aggressive and thorough. They're thorough.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So they also have bills. They have vouchers there. They want to expand them. So they're going to expand access to vouchers so that there's more and more ability to get that. They want to really ultimately reduce the amount of money in the education budget overall, because they want to cut taxes on wealthy people. And then, of course, they have all sorts of various attacks on teachers. A whole laundry list of attacks on teachers.
Of course, of course. Wow, the privatizers are really active in that state. Okay.
The other, so that's Arizona and the privatizers. Then we have Tennessee. Okay. Tennessee has a governor, Bill Lee. And Governor Lee had wanted to do a private school voucher, and his private school voucher was going to it's got hung up in court. So there's got some issues with it. So here's a new strategy. There's a very, very, very conservative college called Hillsdale College. And the head of Hillsdale College had written the conservative answer to the 1619 project. So the 1619 project is this brilliant work that was done about our history, really from the standpoint of our enslaved people. And this one is called the 1776 Commission, which puts us back to where we were before we talked about the 1619 project. So the man who wrote that runs Hillsdale College. Governor Lee is going to have has just put together a deal, negotiated a deal with Hillsdale College to run 50 new charter schools in Tennessee.
Wow. Wow. What a deal. What a
Uh, where they will grow patriots.
oh,
That's what they're looking to do in Tennessee.
grow patriots. Oh my gosh. Oh, white supremacy lives
Right there,
on.
right there. It's right there.
It's right there.
You know, but it's definitely something we all have to be very conscious of. This is happening, and even if we don't see it here in front of us in terms of our charter conversations here, right? They're not looking. Hillsdale College is not looking to open a charter school in California,
Right.
because Governor Newsom isn't going to invite him in, right? But but in states like Tennessee, other red states, they're going to continue to grow.
Yeah. They're very strategic. I mean, it almost sounds like the whole movement about the, you know, the voter suppression movement, you know, it's like they target specific areas and they have strategies. They have a strategy for sure. But we have to stay aware of.
Right. I mean, so that is really the thing we have to do. The main thing we need to do is be aware.
Be aware of it.
And so the other thing I just wanted to say, as far as California, Oakland is continuing its struggles. They've had, the governor is not going to, he sent his chief of staff to meet with the hunger strikers, apparently. The hunger strike is over. No one else has taken up the hunger strike effort specifically.
Yeah.
Well, that night, the night they had the board meeting, that they had, the hunger strikers had requested and that they gave to them. And when they had the meeting, at least one of them stopped the strike.
Yeah.
I watched that meeting, and one of the speakers, of the many, many speakers who were there, was a gentleman named Dr. Cesar Cruz. And Dr. Cesar Cruz was one of the hunger strikers in West Contra Costa many years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He mentioned that, and I thought, well, of course you were. This is you're, and you know, and he was saying, I hope you're going to take care of yourself, because you want to be able to move on in the future and do other things. But he is still in Oakland, running a school in Oakland and running a program in Oakland, and is very, very active, and wound up, after he had been in the role that he had as a hunger striker, he had been a student pal. He got a PhD, a doctorate at Harvard.
Oh, wow. You know, it's starting to sound familiar. I think, he may have been, I think the story just sounds so familiar. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, well, I was so happy to see him as one of the speakers. I just thought that sort of closed, because how many people can say I was a hunger striker too?
Yes.
Right? So
that's great. That's great. We got to find out.
There was that. And then the only other thing I wanted to mention was, just here's one good thing. This is a happy thing. There's a best practice. We haven't talked about best practices in a while. And Maryland put together a list of best practices. What the state of Maryland did was they did something called Maryland Leads Grant Opportunity, Transforming Maryland Schools for the Future. And I only mention this because their list of ways to do it are, they've picked, with the money they're getting, their COVID money, they're saying you can only use it on these 7 things, because these are the things that are most important. And their strategies we've all talked about before, but I just think they validate the fact that these are the strategies we've talked about. Grow your own staff.
Yay, that's us.
Right? Grow your own team.
Yes.
Staff support and then strategies around staff support and retention. Strategies around the science of reading. High quality tutoring. Reimagining the use of time, year-round schools, right? That we've talked about.
Yes.
Innovative school models. They're really talking about community schools, and transforming neighborhoods through excellent community schools. Those are the 7 strategies. And that really is what it comes down to.
Yeah. Those are great. Those are great. Oh, those have to be a priority. Yes.
They are absolutely looking at that. And that's how they're doing it in Maryland. It's the only way they can spend their money is on one of those things. Okay. That's it. They're restricted. And other states are looking at it saying we should do the same thing with how we advocate for this funding to be spent. And the one last piece of legislation, which is the most interesting of all, comes from Indiana, where they changed the law. So you know how a teacher can't run for school board in the district where they are employed, right?
Yes, yes.
No employee can. In Indiana, if this bill passes, and it looks like it will, a teacher can't run for school board anywhere.
What? Okay, so what's Indiana's thinking about that? What is their...
Teachers are subversive people who shouldn't be given the power of making decisions.
There you go. There you go. Just suppress teachers even more. Okay.
To call them out as not eligible to serve specifically in the law, not eligible.
My gosh. Okay. Well, there you go again.
Right.
All right.
So doubt, there should be no doubt as to what we're dealing with, right?
Teachers can never participate in the, process of decision making for schools. This is
for school. Yeah. Right. Anybody else? It could be anybody else.
Yeah, but not teachers.
Yeah.
Oh boy. If they put retired teachers in there, I'm out.
Oh, that's
oh my gosh.
I mean, isn't that, who knows? I mean,
who knows?
Indiana, they would be happy to do that, right?
I know they would. Oh gosh.
But anyway, just look at that. So if that actually is passed, that would be something. I mean, first of all, it would be something that probably is going to be challenged in the courts because doesn't that seem like that doesn't seem like it's a fair thing to
no. But on all of these, we've got to follow the money. We got to see where it's coming from and who is, you got to know who's promoting these things. Boy. Okay.
Okay.
All
so now
right.
tell us the happy news of what's going on at the county.
At the county level, this month is Black History Month, and one more day. And we had a guest speaker at the county. Lynn has these, our superintendent, Lynn Mackey, has brown bag seminars where she has a guest speaker and they come and share information. So this month was Ashley Aaron from San Francisco State University. She's a professor there. And the topic was resistors in African-American studies, resistors against slavery. And it was just wonderful. So a shout out to Lynn for finding this wonderful speaker, and especially shout out to Ashley Aaron. Look her up, Google her, and I'm hoping.
How do you spell her name?
A-A-R-O-N. Yeah,
okay.
It's Ashley Aaron. And she's got some links to our district. She taught a class at, she taught for a while at Contra Costa Community College, and also taught a class at El Cerrito High. And she went to Mills College, and so did I. She was great. The topic of resistors is one, we really need to hear more about. She talked about people that, slaves who burned down crops or poisoned their masters, or just fought against being enslaved.
What is so interesting to me is I had not realized this, that in the university, I'm just looking at her page in San Francisco State. So she is in the College of Ethnic Studies. This is so opposite what we're talking about these other states, right?
I know.
Discuss this at all. College of Ethnic Studies, and she lectures within that college in the Department of Africana Studies and the Department of Race and Resistance Studies.
That's it.
That is elevating it, right?
Yes, absolutely. And we need to elevate her and this whole area of study. Teenagers, our high schools need to have this area of study. It is awesome. It's history. It's real history. It's not just Black history. It's our American history. This is what we need to be teaching in every high school. So Oh, it was just awesome. I also mentioned to her about where these topics, ethnic studies, and how this area of study and the arts, where they intersect. And I said it's so important because it's how people of color can have expression with art and music and film, and it's just something, it's how we can express it. And she said, as a matter of fact, when she begins her class, the first thing she does is she brings in a piece of art and they analyze it and study. And so it's very important because it's something that really gets to the heart of what this experience is,
Right.
so oh, she was all over it. She just really was wonderful. And okay, so it should be posted. We're going to try to track it down and post it, link it to our page,
And we'll
here.
link it on, we'll put it on Between Two Teachers Facebook page.
Yes.
Okay.
And
And I can link it, I can download it and put it on the Between Two Teachers web YouTube page as well.
yes,
So we can just start to do that, and hopefully these wonderful programs that Superintendent Mackey is supporting, we can just post them and link to them on a regular basis.
yeah, because she's really bringing in some good speakers, and we all need to know about them. And so we're going to elevate all of that as well. So yeah, so that was a good thing. Good news.
That was very good news. And you have you got a board meeting this week, or
For West Contra Costa?
no, for Contra Costa? West Contra Costa has one. West Contra Costa has.
The county does not meet until March 9. And we have an LCAP that's going to start at 4, LCAP, and then we have the board meeting at 5 on the 9th.
The big meeting this week is tomorrow night, and it's San Francisco Unified, where they're going to lay off 400 people, up to 400.
Yeah. That's a crisis that's happening because it's going to be March, and March is when the pink slips come out.
It's March 1st.
So that's happening here too. And we'll keep a close eye on that.
That's what we're all going to start seeing that now. And it really is a consequence, even though California has this budget surplus, and it seems so ironic that it's at this point that we're having this crisis. But the issue is we are losing population. Our enrollment is going down.
Yep.
It has to do with the birth rate more than anything else.
That's the reality. Yeah. So we're going to have a lot more at this time next week. We're going to know a lot more about this issue, and we'll bring it to everybody.
Yes, yeah. But the leader in this is San Francisco. They have the 125 million. They started to have their meeting. This is a interesting thing. They started to have their meeting about this, and then they realized that they hadn't posted the meeting in time on the website. Yeah. Therefore, that was a the Brown Act violation, and so they couldn't have it.
Nope, that's right. That's
so
right. They got to follow
tomorrow.
Okay, we'll be watching that. All right.
Okay, so my shout out is to our final hunger striker, Mr. Sanche, who ended his hunger strike on day 20, and to Dr. Cruz.
Yes. Dr. Cruz.
Dr. Cruz, who went in and supported him during the board meeting. So that's it for this week. We'll see you again soon.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.